So hi everybody and welcome back to my channel again. So due to the success of the violin performance video that I did of Believer by Imagine Dragons, I have decided to do a piano tutorial. I've done a violin tutorial of this as well, and that will be linked directly underneath this video. So in these new tutorials, I am now providing sheet music, which is here. And the sheet music is available on my Patreon page for patrons. So there'll be a link underneath. So if you want to get the sheet music, head over to my Patreon page. Let's get going with the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is these dotted lines that you've got right at the start of the sheet music. Now what that means is that you're going to be playing it 2 octaves lower than is actually written. So technically the note I've written is this one here. So it is the A just below middle C, but I don't want you to play that one. I don't want you to play that one, but I want you to play that one all the way down there. Now obviously we're doing this with the right hand, so it does mean, you know, the right hand is going to be over, which, considering what's happening, it's not going to be a big deal to do that, because the left hand is just, the left hand is doing that and the right hand is just. So I didn't think it was going to be a struggle. The other opportunity, the other option was, I just thought that wasn't really going to work, because really you want, that's what we really want, and I didn't want it here either, because again I just didn't think that sounded very nice. So you got to imagine that if I actually wrote that down on the music, that note all the way down on the music, that's going to be ridiculous. So we've done it as an 8VB, so it's just 2 octaves. It's going to be 2 octaves lower. You'll see it in the music when you get it, but that is why I'm down here, and that is why my left hand is up here and my right hand is crossed over. Don't put your right hand underneath. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but don't have your right hand underneath, because it's going to be very awkward to try and cross your right hand in and out. So always have your right hand crossing over your left hand so that you can move it backwards and forwards nice and easily. So we've got a time signature of 12/8. So that is 12 quavers in a bar or 12 eighth notes in a bar. So the rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and just while I'm talking about the left hand, we've got, so we've got A and C in that rhythm. The left hand rhythm is, apart from the odd bar or the odd measure here and there, which obviously you can see, the left hand is pretty much doing exactly the same thing over and over and over. So we've got A's and C's, we've got F's and C's, and we've got G sharps and B's. And that is pretty much it, and then that just goes round and round and round. And then that's it. So this piece does repeat quite a lot. So now putting that with the right hand, so that's what it's going to be. So what I would suggest to you is that you maybe put some lines through some of the music so that you know where your hands are going to be going, so you can kind of work it out. So you kind of need to obviously have some understanding of time signatures, 12/8, and you obviously need to have an understanding of how to read music. So I'm kind of assuming that that's a given, but I mean, you can just look at where the right hand comes with the notes and you can pretty much work it out from there. So for example, if we're looking at measure 3, we've got, with those 2 notes, and then we've got an E, and then we've got a D, and then these are coming together. Pretty much the same thing. So once you know where those notes are coming together, all you've then got to do is keep everything in the correct timing. So you might want to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and you might want to do something like that. So the first thing I would suggest to you is not to play it too fast. So the first thing that everybody's going to do is, and just get yourself into a big fat muddle. Do not do something like this very fast unless you're in a position like me and you can read the sheet music, which obviously watching this tutorial I'm assuming you're not. So just start it nice and slow. There is a lot going on with the left hand and with the right hand, neither of which are actually very tricky, but put them together and the rhythm is a little bit kind of syncopated. So just start off slow. You might want to put some lines, as I said, in the music where you can sort of see where the hands are coming together. So if you don't want to do you're finding that too difficult, then why don't you just play one single note? So where you've got the A and the C, just play an A. When you've got the F and the C, play an F. And then when you've got the G sharp and B, play the G sharp. So it'll be something like this. If you want to jazz it up a little bit further, you can do something like that. So it's exactly the same thing, just octaves. Or perhaps you can do so instead of doing so basically you're just missing out the C. So you're still just doing those first notes, you're just missing out the C's. If you don't want to add those C's in, then I think that would sound quite nice as well. You can always take off the octave if you can't manage that or you can't reach that. So hopefully that's another little alternative for you guys to have a go at. You have got a repeat in these, 10, 11 at the start of 12, and that repeats at the end of 43 at the bottom of the third page. If you want to do those repeats, go ahead, absolutely, and do that. I'll assume you understand about the first time bar, second time bar, and that kind of thing. I didn't at the start of this video just because it just makes it 10 times longer. The only other thing I want to mention are those big notes, or the very low notes you've got in, where are we, 29, 30, in 31, in measure 31 and measure 39 as well. So if I just go from measure 29 or bar 29, so do you remember that note we did at the very start with our right hand that went all the way over to here? That is the note that we're going to be hitting all the way down here, but with our left hand. Now the measure before it, or in the bar before it, we've got just enough time to get down there. So when you get to that point, you're not doing anything in the right hand. When you get there, you need to just avert your eyes from the music or wherever your eyes are looking and look to see you're going from here all the way down there. Otherwise you're going to end up it's going to take you ages to find it, so make sure that you know where that note is going. And then we're all back up here again. So there is a little bit of jumping in the octaves of all of this, but as long as you kind of know where you're going to be, the hands are either going to be centered around the middle, the right hand is sometimes up here for that little chorusy bit, and the left hand is going to be down there. So we're either there or we're sort of out here. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you next Tuesday for next Tuesday's piano tutorial. Bye.